Welcome to the Uncovered Self podcast, a space where we explore the deeper patterns behind behaviour, relationships, money, and the person you're becoming. I'm Ben, and I'm here to help you understand the emotional patterns that shape your life so you can reconnect with who you truly are. Today we're going to be exploring the part of you that holds your emotional truth, the part that never went away, even if you stopped noticing it. And that's your inner child. And as you hear this, you might begin to sense that this part of you has been waiting for this conversation. Now, John Bradshaw described the inner child as the emotional core of who you are, the part of you that felt deeply, loved openly, and expressed freely before the world taught you to protect yourself. Now, internal family systems might say the inner child is an exile, a part of you that carries the burdens of early experiences. An attachment theory adds that your inner child learned how safe it was to express an emotion, how reliable connection felt, how much space you were allowed to take, how much of you was too much. Now, your inner child isn't childish. It's the original you, the unfiltered you, the unprotected you. And every pattern you repeat today, procrastination, overthinking, people-pleasing, shutting down, is rooted in what that child learned. So when you procrastinate, it's often the child who once felt overwhelmed. When you avoid conflict, it's the child who once felt unsafe. When you overgive, it's the child who once earned love through pleasing. And when you shut down, it's the child who once learned that emotions weren't welcome. But in reality, your inner child is often the one holding the steering wheel. And when you begin to recognize that, something inside of you begins to soften. Because you realize you are not fighting a flaw, you're protecting a child. Now, I remember a moment in my own life when I was struggling to make a decision that seemed simple on the surface. But every time I tried to move forward, something inside me froze. And when I slowed down, like really slowed down, I realized it wasn't adult me who was scared. It was the child inside of me who once learned that getting things wrong meant losing approval. That child wasn't resisting the decision. He was resisting the risk of shame. And when I acknowledged him, when I said internally, I see you and you're safe, the resistance eased. And I'd like to share an example from my financial coaching practice. So I once had a client who overspent and avoided looking at his bank account. And as with many people, felt shame around money. But once we began to explore what was underneath that, we found a child who grew up in chaos, a child who never felt secure. So here's the thing. The client wasn't irresponsible. He's protected. His inner child learned that money was unpredictable, emotional, and overwhelming. And until that child feels safe, no budgeting app, no spreadsheet in the world will change the pattern. And that's where the deep transformational change came for this client. And I see that in so many clients. Now here's a reflection exercise for you. Take a slow breath in. And a longer breath out. Now bring to mind a moment recently when you felt resistance, fear, or shut down, and ask yourself gently, how old is the part of me that feels this? Let the answer come without forcing it. And then later today, perhaps write this down. What did my inner child learn about safety, love, or expression? And then you can deepen this. Take a moment to close your eyes and imagine placing a gentle hand on the shoulder of your younger self and say internally, I'm here now. You're safe. You're with me, the adult you, and notice what softens. My intention for you today is, may you reconnect with the child inside you who has been waiting to be heard. May you meet that part with tenderness, and may you take one small step towards becoming the adult that child always needed. Thank you for being here today. And remember, this is inner work for people who want to grow without losing themselves. And you're exactly where you need to be right now.